Hey guys! Today I wanted to do an updated video on a comparison between InkWELL's Bound and Quarterly Planner. She does not make an academic year of her quarterly. She is making an academic year this year for the first time of her Bound, and it's about to release because we are in May right now. But this is a calendar year Bound and this is a calendar year quarterly. Her quarterly is only offered in calendar year. These two planners have the exact same layout. They're both flex layout is what she calls them, but it's a horizontal layout. I'm going to run through how they are pretty much exactly alike except for a few things, and I'm going to tell you those differences. And I also have a whole separate video on each one of these if you want to see more details on them alone, because this is kind of just a comparison. So I have a whole video which I'll link below on just the quarterly and all its details, and a whole video on just the Bound and all its details. I will link those most recent reviews below too. So the quarterly is 120 GSM paper. It is a sewn book. It's 4 sewn books for the 4 quarters of the year. They are beautifully done. I love them. But since it's sewn, they could not do their 140 GSM. 140 GSM paper is in their Bound. They did 120 in their quarterly. And let me tell you, it's thicker than any other planner paper out there, the 120. So you will not be disappointed in this paper. It's already thicker, the best paper of any other planner out there. So this tear happened in another video when I was actually trying to tear it, showing how it's the review alone with this book, showing how tough it is. So pay no attention to that. I've used it for months and months and thrown it in bags and paper clipped the tops, and nothing has torn or ripped until I actually tried to tear it. It's very thick, very on the outside, kind of slick protection from water. It's very well done. Okay, so I love that. Okay, the paper difference is the big thing, and then the fact that you have 4 smaller books that are A5 size compared to the one big Bound book. So that's the A5 size. It's quite a bit smaller than the Bound book. Now, in the quarterlies, the thing is, you would think you would only carry around the quarter that you're in. My only problem with that is when I get to the end of the quarterly, like in March, then my calendar ends, and if I have to go like to a doctor appointment or a church meeting where I need to make a future appointment, I have to carry the next book with me too, because I won't have the next month's calendars. So my only suggestion was for them to make one book with all the months in it, and it would be so easy to use, and you would have one monthly book and then the 4 quarters. But that's my suggestion. Some people may not like that, but they could also sell the monthly book to people who only want a monthly, a little really portable. So I will show you. Those are the main differences. The paper and then it just being smaller. And then they did have to take out a few of the extra pages because these are sewn, and they had to make it where they could fit well. If you really want details on either one of these, watch those separate videos, which are linked below. This is just a comparison. I will say the Bound book lays open beautifully. You just massage it a little bit when you get it, and it lays open beautifully. It closes beautifully. You can even fold it back, and I have even clipped it up here with a clip, and it holds up wonderfully. I am using the quarterlies right now as a daily journaling, and I have a whole video about how I'm doing that also. Okay, so we're just going to run through these and see the differences. They have the exact same hexagon backing there. It's beautiful. They have the same, opening page, place to put your name and phone number. I've just put a sticky note over mine. Then you open it up, and this is something the quarterly doesn't have that the Bound has, and important dates pages. So it's just every month of the year is laid out, and then a place for you to write however you want to use that, whether it's vacations or birthdays or important events or other goals or things you're working on. So the quarterly does not have the important events page because they couldn't add in quite all that paper. Also, I think because that's for the whole year, you'd have to go back to quarter 1 for it, but then they put this in here for the whole year. So think it's just can't include that much paper. The next page is the exact same, okay? Goals here is the same as goals here. So I'm actually going to switch this out and use the fourth quarter that I haven't written in much yet for this. And then you can see how that looks because I haven't filled it out. And we'll get to their monthly spread. Oh, okay, well, I guess I can't show that. Hello, Amanda. Because their goals is only in quarter one. So when you skip to quarter four, it's not there because it's only once in the bound. So you have the exact same goals page. It's just made smaller. And these pages are really not too small for me. They give me enough room. Sure, you might have to write smaller and condense things. If you like to write really big, you're definitely going to want this. But you can see it's the exact same pages, exact same colors, just a little smaller. Okay, then we go, and you don't have this in your quarterly. You go straight into the month of January. But at the end of every quarterly book, she gives you the 2017 and 2018 calendars. So you're actually getting that in every book. It's just not in the same place. So there you get your 2017 calendar and you get a quote. And you don't have that in the quarterly. Then you start right into January just like the book. They use the same color scheme. So it's exactly the same. And you can see, you know, your squares are smaller because the page is smaller. But it's still enough room for me to write stuff in. It's still enough room to me. You just might have to write small if you have several events on a day, but it's not too tiny to me. I really, really like the quarterly because of the just ease of just having this one little lightweight book to carry with you. So those pages are the same. Then you turn, and for every month, you have your mission board and you have your plan and focus page with your daily habit trackers. They are exactly the same, just tinier. Okay, so, and I have used these pages as I'm using this for a journal. I have used these in further months for habit tracking and goals and keeping track of things for the month. And there's plenty of room for me to write these, in my opinion. So I think that these quarterly books are really amazing for their price. They are $34 when they're full price, but they're on sale right now because it's later in the year. And her bound is $49, I believe, if I'm remembering right. $49.95, something like that. So, but follow her on Instagram and you can always catch sales and specials. Okay, so then you go into your first week and it is identical. These colors are a teeny bit more faded to me. It's probably just being printed on 120 GSM paper versus 140 is my guess, but it's the same color scheme and it really doesn't bother me. So it's the exact same layout. It's a flex layout. And they have two tiny dots right there and there, which I talk about in my other videos. I'll try to show you on both of them, where you can draw a line down the middle that's why it's called flex, because it's so flexible in how you can use it. I will show you where I have drawn a line back here, but I have whole videos on how I am planning in it. And I have several different videos for that. So we're not going to go through that right now. So they're the same layout. And the same weekly focus and notes, just smaller. So then you go through the whole month. When you get to the end of the month here, last page of the month, you go and you get into February. You just don't have a tab. Well, same thing here, except for you have one extra page called Notes and Ramblings, which is a dotted grid paper in between months. So the month ends and then you get 2 Notes and Ramblings pages, and then you have your February tabbed page and February starts. So you don't get the in-between Notes and Rambling pages here. But you do get some note pages at the end of every single book. So we'll get to that. Do not fear. My one thing is, it is kind of hard to find your month to flip to. So I put some washi tape here and folded it over so that it just helped me flip to the month. So that's also why I would love the monthlies in a separate book. But anyway, washi tape can help you, and you can try to color coordinate so it's not an eyesore. Can help you find your month to flip to it. So then you have your calendar and you do the same thing. The mission board and the plan and focus page. Like I said, it looks exactly the same, just a teeny bit smaller. So I think it's a great option if you think you can go down in size and you don't want so much to carry around. Now let's go to the back and show the differences. At the back of each one of these quarterlies, you have a few dot grid pages. And some it's like 5 and some it's like 6. So they're kind of different in each one, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I love, not dot grid, I'm sorry, her graph. She has graph, and I will show you in one I haven't written in. She has these nice graph pages, and I love her graph paper. It's a pleasure to write on too. The 120, it's a pleasure. I have some of her sewn journals, and I use those for journaling, and I have videos about those too. I'll link below. You have a little date and subject. So you have this graph paper at the end of every quarter book. I love that. And at the end of every quarter book, you also have your 2017, 2018. So this year and the next year. Love that. These are really durable. They are really beautiful. And for more details, you can watch the detailed video on those. This is just supposed to be about the differences. Okay, so in here, you get some extra pages. You get your notes and ramblings after each month. So that's December. You do not get these in your quarterly. You have a gift list, 2 pages, which I go into more detail in my video about this planner alone. You have a travel, 2 pages, which gives you enough room for like 3 trips for flight information. Then you have listing movies you want to see or books you want to read page. You have a monthly bill tracker page. Okay, none of this is in your quarterly. And then you get a few of her graph pages in here also. But you definitely have more notes pages if you add up all the ones that are in the back of each of the 4 books compared to the ones that are in here. And then you get your 2018, but you do get that in the back of every single book. So you're not missing out on that. You get a pocket and a ruler that comes with this book that hooks in to your pages to mark your place. Of course, you don't have that in the quarterly. And you have an accordion pocket in this book, which fits her sewn journal perfectly. So I love the accordion pocket. And then you also have, and I've talked about my ring problem here. It's definitely a defect in other videos. So I wouldn't expect your planner to have that at all. And if you do, contact them within 5 days of receiving it, because that's what they said you need to do with workmanship or shipping damages. Okay, so you have that. So I think that I love all her planners. I love the design. I love the paper fill. But the quarterly is a really cool option that's not out there in any other planner. And I love it. I think it's so innovative. And whether you use it for journaling or for your full-time planner, I think people who don't want a big bound planner, you can fit this in your purse. It's amazing, and it holds up really well, and it functions really well. I love these. I absolutely love the quarterly. I can't wait to see what her quarterly for 2018 looks like. I'm excited to see that. So I might still buy it and use it for journaling because I've kind of enjoyed that this year. All right, guys, thanks for watching this comparison of the quarterly versus the bound in InkWELL. Have a great day, and let me know if you have either one of these and if you love them. And let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys, see you later.